Hello everybody and welcome to the final hour. That is right, it is the last day here of Halloween Horror Nights 33. Thank you for joining me here. As always, I'm Michael from Hallowed Thrills, back with another video, and like I said, back here at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. It's been quite some time since we've been here, honestly, but I'm super excited. I've been here the last couple nights, just running some houses, getting some more runs in of everything. But tonight we're basically going to be running as much houses as we can get, kind of getting a feel of my final rankings for this year, and then at the end of the video I'll be kind of giving you my rankings for this season. But before we get anything, please make sure you're subscribed and have the bell notifications turned on to get notified whenever I post a video, and also make sure you're following both Instagram and Twitter. The links are down in the description below. But we are here for Stay and Scream, so we got to get in there. We got about 20 minutes or so until they close off the park for daytime stuff, so let's head in, and we're gonna head to our normal Stay and Scream spot, being the Goblin's Feast and the Eternal Bloodline Stay and Scream. So let's head in. We have made it into our Stay and Scream here in the London / San Fran section, also World Expo. It's kind of all over the place. But anyways, tonight being the last night of Halloween Horror Nights, it's a bit bittersweet because I feel like I didn't come here enough this year. That's just because we had such a busy haunt season. So I kind of feel bad that I don't have as many run-throughs as I normally would have. Houses, I think the house that I have the most run-throughs is Monstrose with 7. Which, like I said, that's not a lot for me normally. Normally I'm in double digits for at least a couple houses. So I'm hoping to change that tonight, at least get maybe 1 or 2 houses in double digits this year. We'll see. But yeah, we are, like I said, we're here in the Stay and Scream for Goblin's Feast and Eternal Bloodlines, hoping to get 2 run-throughs of each of those before we move on to Slaughter and Museum. And then, unfortunately, head up to the front of the park to go in the very long lines at the front. But yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride tonight. It's, like I said, a bit bittersweet because personally for me, the houses this year are kind of weak. We went into the season kind of thinking, oh, the IPs are gonna be really weak, the originals are where it's gonna be at. And to me, it kind of feels the opposite this year. All of the IPs are really, really good. I mean, as far as their houses being really well done. And then the originals just kind of feel all over the place and doesn't really kind of have a theme to it. And it just feels, they all kind of feel out of place. I don't know. That's just kind of how I'm feeling about it this year. And I know a lot of people in the community are also kind of feeling that way. But let's get our spot in the line for Stay and Scream, because we got about an hour or so until the event opens, and about 25 to 30 minutes until we can actually get into the houses for Stay and Scream. So they've actually let us into the queue section from Stay and Scream for these 2 houses a little bit early. We're about 15 minutes ahead of schedule, so we'll see if they'll actually open the house or if we'll just stand in the queue back here until they open at 5:45. And I figured what better way to do our last Stay and Scream for this year than how we started it. Eternal Bloodlines is going to be our last Stay and Scream for HHN33. Alright, so it just hit 5:45 and we're finally letting us in. Yeah, that's what it said, so I don't blame them. House number 1 of tonight done. Eternal Bloodlines, that was actually probably one of my best run-throughs that I've had all season of that. It's just kind of just, the story seems lost in it. It always has. There hasn't really been just a concrete of, like, had I not listened to the podcast, I probably would have never understood that house at all. But not a bad run through. The timing on basically all the scares got me basically right as I got in front of every single person. So pretty good run through for me, but still probably one of the houses at the lower end of my list this year. But we are immediately getting in line for Goblins, and maybe since this looks like it's almost about a walk-on, maybe we'll run through this a couple times before moving on to Slaughter and Museum. But I mean, the back houses look pretty dead for right now, but I've heard that the front houses for Stay and Scream got very busy, so it's going to be an interesting night.
Your scare the rest of the cattle.
Yeah, that's obviously my vote for most quotable line of this year's event. Just saying, but we're about to head in. I'm sorry, but Goblin's Feast is one of those houses this year that just grew and grew on me. At the beginning of the year, I was like, it's such a short house. It wasn't really that great. But the more and more I go through it, I'm like, this is such a fun, quotable house. And it's an underdog for me as being in my top 5 for this year. It's such a fun and just comedic house that at the same time still has some pretty decent jump scares in it. So not too bad, but hopefully the line still looks short for it, so we'll probably get another run through of it and maybe another run through of Bloodlines before moving on. Still a short wait for Eternal Bloodlines, so I guess we're gonna run that again. Alright, after 2 run-throughs of both the houses, both Bloodlines and Goblin's Feast, each twice back here, I think we're gonna hit up the other 2 houses that are over in this area, that being Slaughter Cinema 2 and Museum Deadly Exhibits. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get another run-through of one of those or both those tonight, but it's been a good time with both those houses. Honestly, they're both not bad. But let's continue moving on here tonight. Yikes, 60 minutes. I find that hard to believe, but I guess we'll have to see. Ooh, geez, okay, yeah, this might be an hour. We'll see. I don't know about this. This was actually about only a 40-minute wait, so that wasn't too bad, actually. It's post an hour, 40 minutes. I'm okay with that. All right, add 1 run-through to the list of Slaughter Cinema. So that's now 2 run-throughs of both Eternal Bloodlines and Goblins, and then 1 run-through of Slaughter Cinema for tonight. We're now heading on our way to Museum. I think it's about a 30-minute wait, so it shouldn't be too bad. And then we'll head up to the front of the park, I guess. So we just got out of Museum. I will say this. It is definitely improved since the beginning of the event. The last couple run-throughs I've gotten of it have been fairly decent, but it still feels like it's just missing that one thing, and the story just kind of feels a bit lost. It feels like there's not enough information to really grasp the true story of what that house is kind of trying to convey. It's okay. Definitely have gotten a lot more scares. You can definitely tell the scare actors have gotten way more comfortable in the house, but overall, it's still probably towards the bottom of my hype list this year. It's just, I don't know, it's just not great. But we are now walking over through Simpsons because we're gonna get some food. Of course, we're gonna get the walking taco and the rocks from hell, as those are a couple of my favorite things that I've gotten this year. So we're gonna head over there, get some food, and then run the front houses, and then see what time it is after that, and maybe get some rerun-throughs of a couple things before the end of the night. But looking pretty good so far. Looking pretty good so far for the last night, and weights don't look too bad. Here we are, our Rocks from Hell and our Doritos Walking Taco. I love both of these. They're delicious. If you want to check out my review of both of them, I'll put a little thing up at the top of the screen regarding my food reviews that I did earlier this season, but excited to chow down on both of these. All right, we are now fueled up and good to go and continue our run of houses. It's about 8 o'clock now, so we got some work to do. Quiet Place dropped to 60, so we're heading in as our next house. Quiet Place was posted an hour. We waited 35 minutes. Yeah, that's great. I waited longer for Stay and Scream for that. That was fantastic. The run was kind of shaky. We didn't get a lot of scares. A lot of them happened in front of us, but regardless, it's still a pretty good house, and it's up there for me as one of the better houses this year, which is surprising because I haven't seen the movies, so not bad. But still working through the houses up here at the front, and then, like I said, once we get done everything at least once, we'll do some reruns of stuff. Sat in Torture Fair for a hot minute, and now Triplets is listed as a 35-minute wait, so we're gonna head over that way and check it out and see if we can get at least one run through of it. 35, we'll have to see if that's true. Yeah, this is practically a walk-on. Sweet. And with that, it seems like as of right now, we will be saying goodbye to the Barmy Triplets unless I am able to get one more run through of it, but Triplets of Terror is not too bad of a house. Honestly, for an original take on a slasher, it's pretty good. It's pretty comparable. I did like this original take that they did on it. Will we see them in the future? Who knows? But as of right now, like I said, that's probably going to be the last time we see them for now. Well, they still have Triplets listed as a 35, but I can tell you, when we were walking back from the exit, I looked at it and there was now a new long line formed for it. So like I said, we're gonna pass on getting another run through of that for now. And I think we're gonna walk through Torture Fair and head towards Major Suites. Ooh, it just went up another 5 minutes, so 50's a bit much for me for Major Suites, but it's the last night, so you know what, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get in and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's shorter than it's listed as. Well, Suites was listed as 50, we waited 45, which is what I initially thought it was going to be, so wasn't too bad. There is a lot of unique scares in that house. It just, for me, falls a little flat. The timing, I never really got a good run through for timing. It always felt like scares were happening in front of me or behind me. I don't know, it just, I never got the good run through, which is kind of why I feel like I view Suites being a little less than other people. The theming of it is really well done. It is like a really good, complete house. Just overall, though, it kind of falls just slightly flat for me, and it kind of ends up towards the bottom of my rankings for this year, unfortunately. But we have Monstrous, Insidious, and Ghostbusters left, and it's 11 o'clock now. So we might be able to get a run through of Monstrous before we have to meet up at the Fanta Bar with Spear and Beer. So we're meeting up with them because they're doing a little bit of a last night of Horror Nights meetup. So we're gonna try to run Monstrous before we head back over here. At 25, people are rushing. Maybe it's accurate, we'll have to see. After all things were said and done, with Monstrous, it was about a 35-minute wait. Not too bad, but now we gotta rush over to the Fanta Bar behind Lombard's to meet up with Fear and Beer. Monstrous, it's okay. I mean, as a person who saw the one in Hollywood last year, I think theirs was 1,000 times better than ours. Ours isn't bad, it's just, something is just off about it. I don't know, something just doesn't feel right about it. And I think the costumes are part of it for me. I just don't think they look that great. But yeah, we're gonna head over to the Fanta Bar and I'll meet up with the Fear and Beer people. Had a great meetup and chat here at Lombard's at the Fanta Bar with Nick and Jamie from Fear and Beer. They're always great. You guys can check them out. They're Fear and Beer Pod or Fear and Beer Podcast on all their stuff. Super nice guys, super nice people. But we're now gonna head up to the front to run Ghostbusters because it looks like it's at a 50-minute wait now, so that shouldn't be too bad. It's it's like 11:50 or not 11. It's 12:15 right now. We're gonna run that, and then I'm probably gonna skip out on Insidious tonight and just marathon the other houses that are kind of in the area up there. Posted 45, waited about 30 for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and to be honest, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is slowly becoming one of my favorites here this year. I only have 4 run-throughs of it, but all 4 have been fantastic. The last 2 particularly being very good and getting a lot of good scares out of the house, which for what I initially thought was going to be a comedy house this year turns out to have some pretty decent scares in it and is still extremely, extremely fun. But we have about an hour left in our night here, an hour left in HHN33. It's the witching hour. We got a ton of houses to still to run through. We have Insidious left, but like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to get through it. So we're going to do some run-throughs of some other stuff and hopefully be able to do multiple run-throughs of them. We're doing one last official goodbye to the Blarney triplets. We're heading in. Triplets of Terror, 25 minutes. And then I think we might run to the back of the park. Triplets was literally a walk-on. We literally the time was just basically walking from the entrance, and then we walked straight in. We are heading right to the back, going through Torture Fair, probably for the last time. And we are heading to the back. We're hoping to get 2 more run-throughs of Goblins to get my 10th run-through of the house, and then maybe 1 more run-through of Slaughter. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, and then be able to get back up to the front in time to do my last run-through of the event in Ghostbusters. Oh gosh, I forgot. Nightmare Fuel just let out its last show. Goblins may be pretty busy, actually. Both listed at 5 minutes. Let's go. Alright, we got our 2 run-throughs of Goblin's Feast, bringing our house total to number 10 for Goblin's Feast for this year. I mean, for only being here 7 or 8 nights this year, I'll count that as being pretty good. But we are heading to Slaughter Cinema next to get 1 more run-through of that, and then hopefully get to the front of the park in time for the end of the night to close out the event with Ghostbusters. We just did our 8th run-through of Slaughter Cinema. Now we have 10 minutes to get up to the front of the park from all the way in the back to get our final run-through of the event at Ghostbusters. We'll see if we can make it. Who knows? We'll have to find out. My shins and my calves are on fire, but we made it with 5 minutes to spare. Let's go. And with that, HHN33 is now closed. So I'm gonna put up all of what we did tonight, and then I'll also put up the house counts that I had for the event this year. I'll kind of put them up over here. Most run-through house this year was Goblin's Feast. It was a really fun house, but let's talk about our rankings real quick before we end off this video for tonight. House rankings, number 1 for me this year. Actually, no, we'll start at 10. 10, it's gotta be Museum Deadly Exhibits. I was really looking forward to it this year, and it just kind of disappointed me. Kind of in the middle, though. We'll do 5 and 6 now. I'll kind of show the rest of them, though. 5 and 6, I have Goblin's Feast and Slaughter Cinema 2. They're both interchangeable at those spots. Right now, I think I have Goblin's Feast at 6 and Slaughter Cinema at 5. They're both interchangeable. Like I said, I kind of enjoyed both of them equally. And then we go into my top 4, which we have Triplets of Terror. Then we have Wyatt Place, which officially dropped down to 3, and Ghostbusters is at 2, which means Insidious is at 1. I loved Insidious this year. It was such a good house, and so refreshing to actually have a scary house for once at HHN. It was really good, but that's my entire top 10 and my rankings for this year. And then for Scare Zones, we have Duality of Fear, obviously, at 5. 4, we have Plum Zone. 3, I have Demon Queens. 2, I have Swambies. And 1, of course, is going to be Torture Fair. I loved the fair. It was great. But that's the entire hype list. I hope you guys did enjoy this season here for Halloween Horror Nights. I cannot wait to be back for HHN34 next year. But I hope you guys, like I said, have enjoyed. Please make sure you drop a like and also comment down below what is your final rankings list for this year's event. I'd like to know down in the comments below. But as always, I'm Michael from How It Thrills, giving you the all clear, and all clear means you're out of here. See you guys next time.